Hi. In this video I want to show you on how to IDE-ify your GitHub experience. With only a few browser extensions you can resemble nearly the same layout as you are used to by code editors, and I'm going to walk you through the steps. This is what we are used to. Usually there's a navigation on the left side that you can just collapse or expand, and you click the whole thing and you're there. Right now on GitHub it's a tedious process of going through this folder, that folder, next folder. I'm actually there, congratulations. Granted, GitHub is fast. If your internet connection is fast enough, that won't be really an issue, but it's still annoying, and we can improve that. Also, the glaring difference, especially probably if you're watching this in a low light environment, GitHub is very bright, especially at night. As a quick preview, this is what my Chrome setup looks like. I chose to do a fresh install of Firefox and have no extensions here, so I can show you a direct comparison of the end result. And as you can see, you can actually navigate here in the folders and go there, and that's just it. You can collapse it. It will remember if you expanded it earlier or not. And it has icons in comparison to what GitHub does right now. If you go here, you see all those elements have the same icon, and granted it's a folder, so that doesn't hurt too bad, but I like actually having the same thing as in VS Code. As you can see here, my regular TypeScript file has just TS, my TypeScript React file has the React icon, and the test icon has a separate icon on top, as well as SAS files have their SAS icon. As a heads up, most of the extensions I will mention work both in Chrome and in Firefox, so you're safe in that regard, whatever you use. Some of them actually work in Opera and Safari too. The first one I'm gonna show you is GitHub Dark Theme, which unsurprisingly does exactly what the name says. It changes GitHub to a dark theme. Quickly installing it with only a few clicks, and GitHub is dark. The next one is Octotree. Octotree is the reason we were about to get a navigation. As you can see here, it's even working in Safari and Opera. On first install it will show itself like this. It comes with a hotkey. You can hover this label and it will show you the contents of the repository as a navigational bar, and as soon as you leave this it disappears, which I personally find a bit annoying, so you can pin it as well. As you can see, this moved the whole top level bar, which doesn't annoy me too much, but we'll get to this in a second. You can drag and drop the size, and we can finally just go here or go here. We don't have to navigate all the folders. As a heads up, Octotree also comes with a few options that you can set. For example, an access token that you will need as soon as you work with private repositories. I assume Octotree under the hood uses the GitHub API, and obviously only publicly available repositories can be queried through it, unless you provide a personal access token saying or guaranteeing that you are part of this private repository. You can also set your own hotkeys, as well as show the sidebar only on a hover. That's what we already fixed basically by pinning it. You can disable the file icons if for some reason you don't like them, and you can lazy load the code tree, which can speed up large repositories. Especially the add-typed repository will take a lot of memory if you just open it, so I would recommend doing that if you notice performance issues. As I mentioned before, we still have our top navbar being out of sync with the rest of the page, as well as this weird white space here now, as well as on the right side. So we are going to fix this by installing GitHub White, or White GitHub, which does basically again what it says. We have to refresh here once, and we are done. We have a dark theme now, and we can navigate. A few things could still be improved though. For example, if you move to a folder that has both files and folders in it, folders always have the same icon, which is I guess fair enough, but the icons could change depending on what file ending it has. I mean, Octotree for example also does it, VS Code does it also, so why not add it in here? You can use GitHub VS Code icons for that, which ships the default icon set as far as I know, and it looks like this then. Sometimes though it bugs out, it's caught in an eternal loading state. Let's see if I can find. Yeah, this is it. You saw it had the icons for a second, but then it's stuck here. Most of the time it's actually fixed by reloading. Sometimes it isn't. When working with JavaScript, you are oftentimes finding yourself checking out a project's package.json, and that can be a tedious task because you have to grok all these strings, and then you have to check for these, and sometimes they are not in alphabetical order, and yeah, it's annoying, or it can be annoying. Something to alleviate that pain is npmhub. It basically queries the package.json for you and just shows it below the file tree, so you don't have to check yourself. Scripts are not included, but it separates by dev dependencies and peer dependencies as well if they are separated in the package.json. Now, if you compare the final result of syntax highlighting as well, you can see it's still using the default font that GitHub comes with, and in my example I have a different font set, which I did through an extension I built myself, or rather I forked another one's extension and modified simply the CSS variables and the font family that you can just set via CSS in a extension. It's called github-vscode-icons with Fira code, which is apparently a horrendous name, I've been told. It basically uses the VS Code #vivid color theme, as well as the font Fira code, which needs to be installed locally, and this is mentioned here as well. There's a link on how to install Fira code here. And yeah, it's the same font as I'm using in VS Code itself, so where's this custom icon? So the transition between VS Code and GitHub is nearly the same as well in comparison to here. It's a different font, but that's just me, and it is specific to my color theme. So basically take the extension as an example on how to modify your own syntax theme for GitHub. Thanks for watching.